Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Gaur Premanande. We'll begin with purification by touching water and mantra, the achmana. And so if you don't have an achman cup, then please share with your kind neighbor next to you, and we'll go a little slow. We're going to do 3 times, and I'll say the mantra, which means that whatever state one is in, pure or impure, by remembering the lotus-eyed Supreme Personality of Godhead, then one becomes purified inwardly and outwardly. Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastan Gatopiva Yasmare Pundarikaksham Sababhya Abhyantara Shuchihi Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu. Om, take the Achman spoon in your left hand, please, and put 3 drops on your right hand, and say Om Keshavaya Namaha, and sip the water. 3 drops again, please. Om Narayanaya Namaha. One more time. Om Madhavaya Namaha. Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastan Gatopiva Yasmare Sababhya Abhyantara Shuchihi Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu. 3 drops. Right hand. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Narayanaya Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastan Gatopiva Yasmare Pundarikaksham Sababhya Abhyantara Shuchihi Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Narayanaya Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. And now we'll chant some verses from the Sri Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sakchit Ananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Prakara Sadma Sukalpa Vriksha Shavriteshu Surabhira Pipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Kwanantam Adavindam Dalaya Taksham Bharhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kalasadmana Malya Vamshi Ratnangadam Pranaya Keli Kala Shamam Tribangalalitam Yata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yassa Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Sha Vedeshu Dulamam Adulamam Atma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sambragamyo Vayoradhapi Manaso Munipungavanam Sopyastiya Prapadasindya Vitincha Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopyasaurchaditum Jagadanda Kotim Yat Shakti Rasti Jagadanda Chayaya Danta Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yad Bhava Bhavitadiyo Manujastataiva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Shayanana Bhusha Suktaryeva Nagama Pratitaistu Vanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabis Tabirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabhi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santaksadaiva Hridayesh Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundyanam Achincha Gunaswarupam Vindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Mutu Shukalani Amena Tishtan Anavataram Akarod Bhuvanesha Kintu Krishna Swayam Samababat Paramapumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Prabhapato Jagatanda Koti Koti Shashesha Vatudari Viputti Bindam Tad Brahma Nishkalam Ananta Shesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Hiyasya Jagadanda Shatani Sute Trigunya Tad Vishaya Veda Vitaya Mana Sattva Valambi Parasattvam Vishuddha Sattvam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajani Ananda Chinmaya Rasatmatayamanasu Yapraninam Pratipalam Smarutam Upetya Lilayatena Bhuvanani Jayatya Jastram Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Goloka Namni Nijadani Taleta Tasya Devi Mahesha Haridama Suteshu Teshu Te Te Prabhava Nichaya Vihitasya Yena Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shrishti Stiti Pralaya Sarana Shakti Reka Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Viparati Durga Ichchanu Rupam Api Yasya Chateshtate Sa Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shiram Yatad Vikari Vishesha Yogat Sanjayate Nahitata Pratagasti Heto Yashambhutam Apitata Samupaiti Karyad Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Departure Eva Hirashantanamabhyapetya Dipayate Vrvata Hetu Samana Dharma Yastadrageva Hicha Vishnu Chaya Vibhati Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yakarnarna Bhajale Bhajati Sma Yoga Nidra Mananta Jagadanda Saroma Kupaha Adhara Shaktim Avalamya Param Samurtim Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yashaika Nisvasitakala Matavalamya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadandanata Vishnur Mahansa Hyasya Kala Vishesho Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Basman Yatasma Sakalesh Nijeshu Teja Swiyam Kiya Prakatiyata Vitadvadatra Brahma Yesha Jagadanda Vidhana Karta Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yatpada Pallava Yugam Vinidaya Kumbha Dvande Pranama Samaye Saganadi Raja Vignan Vidhantum Alamasya Jagatrayasya Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Agnir Mahi Ganamam Brudishascha Kalasya Tatma Siti Jagatrayani Yasmad Bhavanti Vivavanti Vishanti Yamsha Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yachakshadesa Sabda Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Suramuti Rashesha Tejaha Yasyak Pramdisambrita Kala Chakro Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Dharmo Tapapa Nichaya Shutayastapamsi Brahmadi Kita Patagada Padayascha Jiva Yadatra Matra Bhava Prakata Prabhava Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yastwindra Gopam Matavendra Mahosa Karma Bandhanu Rupa Palabhajana Matanoti Karmani Nirdahati Kintucha Bhakti Bhajam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yam Krodha Kama Sahaja Pranayadi Piti Vatsalya Moha Guru Gaurava Sevya Bhavai Sanchintyatasya Sadrishim Tanuma Purete Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Sriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpataravo Druma Bhumishchintamani Garamaitoyam Amritam Kataganam Natyam Gamanamapi Vamshi Priyasaki Chiranandam Jyoti Paramapi Tarasvadyam Apicha Sayatra Shiradhi Sravati Surabhibhyasya Sumahan Eme Shardhyakyo Vavrajati Nahiyatrapi Samayaha Vaje Shveta Dvipam Tamahamiha Golokamitiyam Vidantaste Shantakshiti Viralachara Katipaye Ishvara Parama Krishna Sakchit Ananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana Miti Sri Brahma Samhita Sampurnam Hari Om.
Om Jnanatimarandasya Gyanandana Salakaya Chakshurun Minitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sigaro Seyuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sivisakam Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kansana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Visabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyacha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Vaishnavas that we are here. Janki, if you can sit, this is pathway, if you can sit behind, still the pathway. Just organize it. Yeah, that she goes. Sit in the front. She'll need a plate and all that. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So it is by the extraordinary mercy, the mercy of many, the mercy of the Vaishnavas, the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, the mercy of all the previous acharyas, the mercy of Krishna, the mercy of Krishna who so kindly appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who overlooks our faults, who overlooks our shortcomings, and Srila Prabhupada, his transcendental via media. It is by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada that temples spread all over the world, that shelter was there, that books were there, that we even found out that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We still never understood how to really serve Him, what was the real goal of life. All that now has become crystal clear. Somehow or other, we know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the reservoir of all pleasure. He manifests Himself in so many ways, in the form of the deity, in the form of His holy name, in the form of prasadam. Krishna even manifested the spiritual world within this material universe. So that even who are residents, that even we who are residents of this material realm can somehow or other go to the holy dome and roll in the dust and pray. And so the mercy is overwhelming. This ceremony is also a ceremony which is inspired by that mercy, somehow or other. Let us see that the Vaishnavas spent their life giving, that the Vaishnavas are giving freely with their heart whatever they have received, they share. And it said, and as one is sharing what one has received, we find described in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 8, that as we are giving out the fruits of love of God freely, we'll find that afterwards we have more than we had before. So this is most wonderful, most wonderful. And let that spirit be the spirit of this day. Let us embrace that spirit. We ourselves are the recipients of that mercy. We're only here in our various roles, whatever these roles may be, on this occasion, whether we sit on a mat or on a chair or wherever. We're all just here because of that great mercy. In the form of His holy name, Lord Krishna is most merciful, because it is said that when we make offenses to Lord Krishna in person, then how can one be purified? Then one can be purified by the chanting of the holy name. In this way, even when there's no other way to be purified, we can still be purified by the chanting of the holy name. Of course, if one makes offenses against the holy name, then the result of the chanting will be delayed. So, in the beginning, in spiritual life, we are following the process of bhakti, or devotional service according to rules and regulations. This is part of sadhana bhakti, part of the process of cultivation of our devotional service, of cultivation of pure devotional service. It takes time. It doesn't just happen by some mental adjustment. It doesn't just happen by a decision. Now I will do it. I will. No. One can sit in a ceremony and fix the mind and say, yes, yes, I want this, I will do. Wonderful. But Srila Rupa Goswami has explained that it is a process of cultivation. And that is outlined in the Nectar of Devotion, especially the first 19 chapters. I think that after taking initiation, it's very helpful to read these 19 chapters of the Nectar of Devotion, because I think that it's a refresher of what we're supposed to do, of how we are going to cultivate our bhakti. So Srila Rupa Goswami has explained there are 3 categories of devotional service: sadhana bhakti, Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. Bhava Bhakti is a very advanced stage of deep absorption in ecstasy. But it said even in Bhava Bhakti there may be some shadow of the material influence, some still a sense of obstacle in the world. In Prema Bhakti, everything is perfect. In Prema Bhakti, one can see everything is conducted according to the perfect plan of Krishna. Prema Bhakti, who can understand Prema Bhakti? For us, we hear about Prema Bhakti. We are hearing. We're hearing about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not only how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the most merciful Lord, the most merciful manifestation. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Guratvisha Namaha. But that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also himself showed the deepest absorption in transcendental love. It's only amazing, astounding when we hear about such things. We don't have such love. Right? So, therefore, still we are fortunate to hear. Still we are fortunate to somehow or other be able to be part of a movement where such topics are regularly being discussed. Right? The world, Srila Prabhupada speaks in Srimad Bhagavatam about question and answers, and that the whole world is about question and answers everywhere. In the marketplace, in the court, in the school, question and answers. But we also find that in Srimad Bhagavatam, that when the sages of Naimisaranya are asking questions, that these questions are considered auspicious, because these questions are dealing with the ultimate goal of life. So let us spend time with discussing these transcendental subject matters. There is more distraction than ever in the world, because Maya has found a new tool, the internet, in our pocket, which is very powerful to somehow or other distract us again and again. So, of course, distraction is the nature of the material world. This is the domain of distraction. It is meant, it is designed for that, to distract us. And it happens to us thousands of times a day, maybe more, I can't count, so many. So to chant, not just to fulfill a quota, but to really chant, that's the only way. Life goes quick, sometimes quicker than we think, right? It's not, death never comes exactly when we plan it, right? It's not in our hands to say, okay, now I'm finished, all right, let's set a date for this transition. No, it just comes when you're not finished, right? It just comes when still so much remains to be done. So therefore, we should never think, oh, we have so much time. We have oceans of time. We don't. We don't. You never know. When the opportunity is there, now the opportunity is there to grab the mercy. So in that sense, all of us, when we reflect on our spiritual lives, can get a little introspective, can come to the point where we say, yeah, I haven't really fully taken advantage of all the opportunities that I got. Right? And all of us sometimes look back like that, say, I could have taken more advantage of all these opportunities. So today is a very, very special moment, because it is a moment where we can really fix ourselves deeply and sincerely, for as much as we can be deep, for as much as we can be sincere. And let that be there, and let us try and adjust our lives to the desires of the transcendental knowledge that comes from Krishna through parampara. And let us just embrace it as much as we can. And where we are weak, let us look for association that is strong. Right? We are all weak. Right? We are in the material world. It begins there. And then, somehow or other, after so many cycles of yuga, we wound up in taking birth in Kali Yuga. So, here we are, residents of the age of Kali, the weak ones, the less intelligent ones, the lazy ones, the ones that are not serious, etc., etc. You can fill in the blanks, right? So this is us. Sometimes I have this vision of a huge caravan, and I see the Panchatattva dancing in front, like, and I see Krishnadas Kaviraj dancing behind, and Narottam Das Thakur is ecstatic, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and comes all the down, Jagannath Das Babaji, and all the acharyas, the current acharyas, and then in the back there's us, in the same caravan. Like, this bunch is somehow or other there, and it's amazing that we are there in that same. And, following these same personalities. I'm thinking, me, that's amazing. But so it happened. All of us are here. It's amazing. So, yes, this is done together with devotees. This is not done alone. This is done in the association of devotees. We seek them out. I'm so glad you all came for Rath Yatra in New York. So, this mercy that we are receiving is amazing. It's brought us very far. It carries us, and now it's up to us to turn to it always, again and again. Let us turn to it. Turn to the Vaishnavas, turn to the name, turn to prasadam, turn to the deities, turn to the Dham. When I hear people who say, I haven't been in the holy Dham for 20 years, I feel like crying. That's how sad. Let's think about the holy Dham. Let us think about the holy name and chant. Yes, let us have kirtan at home. Let us have kirtan in temples. Let us have kirtan on the street. Let us have kirtan everywhere. Let us distribute books, and let us, Vaisheshika Prabhu will guide us, inspire us patiently, firmly, and teach us how to do it. Yes. Let us somehow or other together go forward to the spiritual world. The last thing I'll say, the spiritual master is the representative of Krishna. And so today we're taking our vows to Krishna. We're making our vows to Krishna. Spiritual master is receiving them on behalf of Krishna. The spiritual master is coming in the sampradaya. He's not the only one who is an agent of this transcendental knowledge. Of course, we have a special connection with our own spiritual master. But then the mercy flows everywhere. So wherever it flows, catch it. Catch it. Don't miss it. Wherever it flows, go there and catch that mercy. That is my humble request to you all. Be eager. Always look to connect with that mercy wherever you can find it. Then you'll always be spiritually rejuvenated and always be full of strength, enthusiasm, and the desire to go back to Godhead will become strong in your heart. Then you fly to the spiritual world. So let us all go there in due course of time, not right away, at the end of this life. Thank you very, very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Without kicking over water or offerings, please stand up for one moment, because you've been sitting for a long time, and there's a little more to come. Stand up. Hare Krishna.
So we'd like to ask everyone to please put their phones on silent for the rest of the program. Hare Krishna.
And if your phone goes off, you can buy one set of Srimad Bhagavatams. Gopal Champu Prabhu will enforce it, and he's not playing around. So please raise your arms in the air really high and say Gauranga. One more time, please. Third time, but try to scare the neighbors. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I have for my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to all the disciples of Srila Prabhupada who are present here today, to all the Vaishnavas, Vanchakalpatarishya, Kripasinabhevacha, Patitanam Bhavanibhyo, Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. It's a delight for me to be here with His Holiness Kadambakhanana Maharaj, whom I've come to know more and more over the last couple of years, working together on some projects. And I have to say that I have developed a great respect and love for him, for his expertise in all things. Anything I watch him work on, he does it with patience, composure, and he has intelligence that he uses in Krishna's service. And also for your kirtans, which I told you already. He didn't want to hear me, but I said I liked his kirtans more than anybody's. It was amazing. It just took me to a new level in life. Hare Krishna. So I'm just expressing how deeply I appreciate this opportunity to sit with you, Maharaj, and to take part in this sacred ceremony. Thank you very much for your association and for all that you've done for us all over the movement as a shining example of one of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's representatives who is qualified to spread the Sankirtan movement and to take thousands of people back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. It's very difficult being a little jiva here in the material world. Yes. It's a hard struggle. Everyone's looking for some kind of backing. I was thinking this the other day. Who's your backer? Everyone needs somebody to back them up. Only problem is jivas, although it's their natural tendency to get back up, they always go for the wrong thing. Shukadeva Goswami noted it in his famous verse, Deha patra kalatra deshu atmasanyesu satsapi tesham pramatinidhanam pashanapina pashiti. You see that it's not good shelter, but you take it anyway, little jiva. And it's a shame, because you could take shelter somewhere where you really get solid backing. In fact, yesterday I was listening to a bhajan Prabhupada would sing in Nitai Padakamala. He was talking about how someone might think, well, I've had so many backers in this world and they've all let me down. But the author of the song, Prabhupada said, is saying, don't think that Lord Nityananda will let you down. He's your real backer. He's real. The tendency to want to take shelter is naturally there because that's our constitutional position. The only thing we've messed up is where to get that shelter. So this initiation is an alignment in perfect shelter, getting perfect backing. Acharyo mam purusha veda. The Shastra says that if you want perfect backing, you have to have backing of the Acharya. As the backing of Sampradaya, who's teaching us what to do, what not to do, and those are the kind of vows that you'll make. What to do? Chant Hare Krishna. If all else fails, and it will, chant Hare Krishna. And what not to do? Don't do stupid stuff. Don't drink things that you can ignite with a match. Look around and see, Krishna says to Uddhava in the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, what the consequences are of your activities. And notice that there's good things to do and bad things to do. Anyareva hor sambhavat, anyarahora sambhavat, iti shushumatira. Explained by people with cooler heads who are dhira, and they've explained it to us. Do this and don't do that. And once we have that backing, we have the backing of the acharyas, we have the backing of the shastra, then we feel like happy jivas. We become sukhinara. Does anybody speak Japanese? It's not Japanese, it's Sanskrit. Sukhinara. Sukhinara means, Sukhi means happy, and a Nara is a human. If you want to be a Sukhinara, say Haribo. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, if you want to be happy, learn to control your senses according to the direction of the Shastra. Raga dvesha vimuktaistu indriyash charan. Atmavashar vete atma prasadam arigachati. Get the mercy of the Lord by taking his backing, follow his instruction. He knows a little more about what we should do than we do. So this initiation is a joyful time because we're all, those of you who are entering into initiation and those of us who are participating in passing down the mantras and the feeling of the sampradaya for surrender to Krishna, we're all, again, reconfirming that this is the goal of life, to take the backing of Krishna fully, and don't worry about anything else. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam braja hang tong sarvapapibhyo mokshayishami masucha. Just don't worry. If you have the right backing, if you just surrender to me, then you're okay. So there are two groups of devotees here today that are, some are taking first initiation, or Harinam, means accepting the name as one's life and soul. You'll also be changing your name. So, this is common in America under the federal witness protection system. When somebody wants to start a new life, a new identity, new place. They give you a new name, and then nobody can find you. So in this case, keep this name, and Maya can't find you. Like, who are you? Das. Well, wrong one. I was looking for someone else. And also, you'll take vows. Your pledge is your wedge. And it starts with a little small answer and wider. Pledge out loud today when you make these pledges. And you're entering into a new realm. Many people think about doing something. Many people almost do something. But today you are doing something. As you're making a pledge, when you speak the words for your vows today, this is piercing the universe. We're in a closed system here. It's the same old stuff over and over again, recycled, and comes out most prominently as breaking news to break our concentration, break our hearts. And now we're entering into a new realm. We pierce this closed universe with our vow, and we invite Krishna into our life. So the wide sweeping motion, he pointed to his heart and he said, when you're sincere, then the master within your heart shows you what to do. So the second initiation means chanting the divine mantras that are passed down through the great acharyas over many generations. And these are like seeds that are already pre-digested, that by hearing the sound vibration, it will touch our hearts and also attract us to the spiritual world. So there are quite a few initiates today. I think around 24 altogether. And on my side, there are 4. So we'll start by having the 3 devotees of the 4 who are accepting second initiation to come up and receive a certificate. And you can start by certificate and acknowledgement of the fact that you're taking a second initiation. And the first one is Sukhanti Gaurangi Devi Dasi. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sukhanti Gaurangi Devi Dasi came to Krishna consciousness with great enthusiasm and has maintained that enthusiasm and brings expertise to the Sankirtan movement. This is, as Prabhupada described, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is like a corporation. And taking second initiation, of course, is a spiritual process, but it's also promotion within the organization for one's dedication. And you've done so much service here in New York where it's most needed, and that's been recognized by all of the leaders here. And I'm very proud of you. All the devotees here, I can tell, are proud of you and love you very much, and we thank you for your dedication to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande Haribo. Second is, who will be taking second initiation, is Anupam Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Some years ago, I spent time with Anupam in Govardhan and was noticing that he was always engaged in some kind of service. And at Govardhan, we like to sit and read Bhagavatam pretty much all day long. And I noticed that he liked to hear. And I asked around, who is that? And devotees were telling me about you. And now I see how you've taken so much service here in the New York area with Soul Spot, where you're making devotees, you're distributing thousands of books, and maintaining a standard of devotional service that's exemplary. And we can see that you and your wife, Mani Manjari Devi Dasi, are the future of our movement. We all here pray for your empowerment. You'll be able to spread the Sankirtan movement all over the world. Please use your youth, your middle age, and your old age to serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. Rasaprada Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rasaprada Prabhu, I'm very happy that we're here, especially with Maharaj, because your family, your son, your wife, are taking initiation from Maharaj. And I know that you have a deep love for Maharaj in your heart as one of your prominent Shiksha gurus in your life, so this is appropriate. I'm very happy. Those who I talk to about you, of course I know for myself, but I also like to see if I'm thinking accurately. But when I ask around, people say, Rasaprada is a good soul. He has a sincere heart in serving Krishna, and I've known that ever since I met you. Your enthusiasm to advance in Krishna consciousness and to burst out of this muck of the material world. You have that desire. And of course, the material world is a hard place, and it pounds us back as hard as it can. But you keep on going. And you can see it, your whole family's Krishna conscious. Thank you very much for maintaining your sweet enthusiasm for Krishna consciousness. Please take this as an encouragement from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to double down on your Krishna consciousness and do it even harder than you were before. Gaur Premanande Haribo. Bhakta Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If someone's being helpful and holding my bag for me, I'll take it now. Just give me the whole thing. I know where everything is. Thank you, Prabhu.
Bhaktahari, you have a lot of fans here. You're young and you're totally dedicated to Krishna consciousness, to studying it, following it, and the world needs you. And these initiations mean we're inviting everyone to come in and spread the Krishna consciousness movement to his or her full ability, to as many other people as possible, unabashedly. We gave them a chance, the whole material world, they blew it. So now we're going to take over, right? Say yes. Yes. The beginning of that is taking over one's own senses and mind by saying to the mind and senses that want to dance here in the material world, no mas, it's over. We're starting on our path back to Godhead and only Krishna. Krishna Nam, and no more dabbling in the material world. So today you've come here to make some very special vows. Would you please say those in front of the deities, the devotees, and your spiritual master?
Hare Krishna. In front of Sri Sri Radha Govinda Dev, Srila Prabhupada, and all the assembled devotees, I've come to make these following vows. I will follow the 4 regular principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex. And I will also chant a minimum of 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day for the rest of my life. I also like to take a vow to systematically study Srila Prabhupada's books and to avoid criticizing Vaishnavas, especially on the internet. And to always be helpful to the Sankirtan mission of Lord Chaitanya under the feet of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I can see how proactive you are. Following the eternal principle of parampara, taking Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement as my life and soul, and depending on their mercy, the mercy of the previous acharyas, and all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are like desire trees. I'm exceedingly pleased to accept you as my disciple, and therefore as a grand disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and a member of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. May all of the previous acharyas and the ocean of mercy, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, shower you with their grace. I hereby joyfully award you the name. Just want to make sure I get it right. Harai Prana Das. Harai Prana Das Prabhu ki! Harai Prana Das Prabhu ki! Harai Prana Das Prabhu ki! Okay, we're done, huh? Let me just wait. Wait. Yeah, I'd first like to call on Abhay Charan. Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Papers with names. You'll wait, and when I say it, practice that one. Very good. Yes, Mother. So, Abhay is very fortunate to have a wonderful devotee family.
family. And, and a name like Abhay Charan, my God, Generally, when we give names, we try to make him stronger, more connected to Krishna. This one is tough. But before we go, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj gave that name. Oh, let's see, such a name. Now, before we go there to the name, Abhay, what are the 4 regulative principles you promise to follow for the rest of your life?
No gambling, no intoxication, no meat eating, and no illicit sex. No fish or eggs, no meat, fish or eggs.
And how many rounds?
Minimum 16.
Okay, so as I said, I didn't know how to change such a name, The only thing I could think of was how Srila Prabhupada had that name, right? And how his spiritual master changed it. So I'll change it in the same way. From this day on, you will be known as Abhay Charanaravinda Das. Thank you very much. Just hold on. Yeah, let me see. The beats I didn't give it. These are enormous beats. Okay, here they are. With this one, yeah. Mehul. Yes. So Mehul Rawal is the youngest brother of the Rawal family, also a devotee family, living upstate New York, and a very wonderful family. Beautiful deities at home of Radha and Krishna, a full morning program every day. Krishna consciousness is so much part of their life that I'm very glad that you can be here. Hare Krishna. Okay, take him out of the way. So what are the 4 regulative principles you promise to follow for the rest of your life?
No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. And chanting minimum 16 rounds. And on maybe Janmashtami and Agyaras, maybe double it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, your name will be Madhavendra Puri Das. Let's give them both. Yeah, the neck beats we didn't do yet, huh? Did we all change neck beats over the first initials? Oh. That should be done. Yeah, usually we do that earlier. So let us do that now, that you all help the first initiates to change their neck beats. The second initiates can help the first. Let's do it quick. Yeah, usually I do it also after the Ajna beginning. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody, please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody.
Okay, but you're getting second initiation, right?
An amazing melody, really something. Very, very nice. Marcus. Yes. Hare Krishna. So Marcus is a local devotee, a devotee from this temple who serves at the feet of Radha Govinda and does a lot of service and is really one of the core team here in the temple. You know, not someone who's jumping right in the foreground, but someone who's there when so many things need to be done. So very happy that you're here today. And you can tell me what are the 4 regulative principles you promise to follow for the rest of your life and how many rounds?
No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex. And a minimum of 16 rounds.
So your name will be Madan Gopal.
Wow.
Das. Madan Gopal Das. Hare Krishna. Then Sanket. Hare Krishna. Very welcome. So Sanket lives in New Jersey, and his family are Vaishnavas in the Pusti Mark. So they have a long tradition of worshipping Krishna, and that's obviously how he got that name, because such a name is quite special. So let us go forward first and hear from you the vows, and then we'll carry on.
No meat eating, including fish and eggs, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, and minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra.
So the name Sanket is a name of Vrindavan, right? A very nice place in Vrindavan, between Varsana and Nandagram, is this place where Radha and Krishna meet. These days, it's a beautiful village, and there are some, there are a few temples, and the main temple, in the main temple, there's a very nice deity, and the deity has the following name, and that I'll give you. Your name will be Sanket Bihari Das. No? Yes, Hare Krishna. Bhakta Jacob. So Bhakta Jacob is also a local devotee in the temple here, doing so much service, and in the temple, in the kitchen, and of course in Ram Roy's Sankirtan party. He is a Sankirtan man. He's a preacher. He used to travel with the Ruchis, the Kirtan party, for a while. So I'm very happy that you're here in New York. Please stay a long time and help to build up the preaching in this temple. That would be such a wonderful thing. So what are the vows?
No meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, and no intoxication. And I promise I will chanting minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra of the rest of my life.
I somehow want everyone to say no. I want you to also say no fish and eggs.
No fish and eggs and onion and garlic.
That's understood. Now, but I always feel like if you don't say the fish and eggs, then you sort of leave a little, you know. You hold this for a sec. I have to look because, oh yeah, I remember. So from this day on, you will be known as Jayananda Das. So of course, you know, a name like that's not a small name. It's like, because that is the nature of names. The Vaishnavas, they carry a name, and when they serve, then that name just becomes surcharged with the memory of all that service. So may you find deep inspiration. Oh, Jayananda, Haribol, you have to look at me. May you find deep inspiration in this name. Please meditate on it deeply for the rest of your life and try and follow in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada's disciple, Jayananda. Thank you. We have Gabriel. So, Rasapada, Laksana, and Gabriel are a family. They live in D.C. I sometimes stayed with them, and they come and meet me regularly whenever I'm in New York. We have a close connection with the whole family, and it's really nice that today the whole family is here together, taking initiation. So I thank Vaisheshika for that also, for blessing them. It's a great moment. So you're all devotees together, so stay together, and together, somehow or other, be Krishna conscious. So what are the principles you promise to follow, and how many rounds?
Guru Maharaj, the 4 regulative principles that I am promising to follow are no meat eating, fish, eggs, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, and to chant a minimum of 16 rounds every day for the rest of my life. Hari Bol.
Okay. So your name from this day on is Gaur Keshava Das. Then Brittany. Huh? Brittany. Huh? Krishna, Hare It works perfect, that kirtan of yours. They can just make their entry. It's amazing how you time it like that. Hare Krishna. So, happy you're here. Brittany's also from New York, although she's temporarily in Florida now, somewhere. Houston, okay, Houston. Houston it is. Somewhere out there. But I don't know how long she can stay in Houston because she's a New Yorker. But even from Houston, she's still doing service here in the temple, because these days everything happens on WhatsApp and so on, and the internet anyway. So it doesn't matter if you're in the room next door or if you're in Houston. So you're still very much part of New York, and I'm really happy with that. You can tell us the vows.
Hare Krishna. I vow to not eat meat, including fish and eggs, no illicit sex, no gambling, and no intoxication. And I also vow to chant a minimum of 16 rounds each day for the rest of my life.
Then you will be Vrinda Devi Dasi. Okay, there it is. Who was the next? Let me just wait. Let's see this list. It's BJ. Hare Krishna, Vijay. Yeah. Vijay is married to Vasudev, who is one of my early disciples, and so I've been a lot in their personal life. I was there for the marriage. They made me sit on a chair throughout the whole thing in the middle of the ceremony, and oh my God, I was being worshipped in a way that I couldn't escape. I remember that marriage. And yes, we have traveled together. We have, we've gone through many things. So I'm happy about that this day is here. So please let's do the vows. And
I vow
to not eat any meat, fish, or eggs, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex. I also vow to chant 16 rounds every day for the rest of my life.
Can you see the paper? Was it yeah, I got it. Okay. So from this day on, you will be Vandana Dasi. So Vandana, of course, relates to prayer. So Bija, you studied and you went all the way up to a PhD, right? She has a PhD in environmental science, so much studying. So now Vandana, prayer. Now we're going to the heart. Hare Krishna. Okay, Janaki from New Jersey. That's not Janaki. This one. Okay, so we're just waiting for the neck beats, and then. Krishna, Hare So I'll give the microphone to you. Please tell us the vows you will follow for the rest of your life.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. I vow to not eat meat, eggs, and fish, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, and I vow to chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day. Thank you.
Thank you. Then you will be Janava Thakurani, Devidasi. 1 second. Okay, there it is. So we wrote it down also. There you go. Janaki was, of course, the wife of Lord Ramachandra. And Janava is the wife of Lord Nityananda, right? Who is most merciful. So may, in this way, you always be blessed by the mercy of Janava Mata and Lord Nityananda. Hare Krishna. Bhakti Giselle. Giselle, the blue one. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, Bhakti Giselle is doing so much service here in Radha Govinda. Deity backup services, the flowers, and is really like, is there always doing a lot, and always in a very happy mood. So everyone likes her very much. Me too. That's very good. So please tell us.
Well, I vow to follow the 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, and no eggs, or fish. Yes, Haribol. And I vowed to chant 16 rounds, which is the minimum. If I can chant more after doing the minimum for the rest of my life. Yes.
Very good. Very good. So I always see you there in the flower room doing so much service with the flowers. And therefore, I wanted to give you a name that relates to that. So from this day on, you will be known as Pushpanjali Devidas. Give it to him. Right? So, Pushpanjali means to prayerfully offering flowers with folded hands. Hare Krishna. Very nice. Then we have Devika. So Devika is also here from the Radha Govinda temple and doing a lot of service and very enthusiastic about kirtan. She loves kirtan, plays different instruments, leads good kirtan, and goes often with Ram Roy's party and other things also. So we appreciate very much.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. So I vow to not eat any meat, eggs, and fish, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. Also, I promise to chant a minimum of 16 rounds every day for the rest of my life.
Very good. So, Devika, from this day on, you will be Sevika Devidasi. Yeah, and then Tulasi Manjari.
Hare Krishna.
No, to be already. She brought her own bead. Tulasi Manjari was in a bag, plastic bag. Maybe I gave the wrong beats. Oh, I gave the wrong beat. It's okay. You know what I just did? I gave your beats to her. Anyway, you get other beats then. So take the label off. You got him now. That's like Krishna's arrangement. Anymore. So Tulasi Manjari is from Montreal. It's a to meet her in person. We've been on the internet for a long time, and somehow or other, it was a whole adventure to get over the border. But here she is. She made it. So that's very nice. And yes, so please tell us the vows.
Hare Krishna. So I promise to vow to follow the 4 regulative principles, which are no meat eating, including no eggs, no fish, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. And and I promise to chant at least 16 rounds daily for the rest of my life.
So, as your mother was a devotee, and as, therefore, as you grew up as a devotee, and you got that name, Tulasi Manjari, which is, obviously a very nice name. So, I'll make a little change, but not too major. From this day on, you will be Tulasi Toshani. Hare Krishna. To you all. Then there's also a whole list of devotees that come for second initiation today. And I don't have certificates, but all the best wishes from my heart, I hope that will do. I'm a simple Dutchman, and we are not so, we don't do these things, where I'm from. Certificates, although it's very nice, I really like it. But, yeah, my mother used to say, just act normal, that's crazy enough, So it's difficult. That's very Dutch. So it's difficult for me to do these things. But let me just shortly mention the devotees who are taking second initiation. This ceremony goes on for a long time, so I'll just go over the list and you just stay where you are, but all the same blessings and recognition is there that you got, that the disciples of Vaisheshika Prabhu got. So David Damodar, where are you? This is David Damodar. Put your hands up in the air so people can really see you. Hare Krishna. So David Damodar is also a local devotee in the Brooklyn Temple, and he's one of those techies, So he works with Panchratna Prabhu, with computers, and who knows what they do. I'm not sure. I don't know, but Panchratna is saying that David Damodar is a pillar. Right, and is doing a lot of service in that area. So, thank you very much for being in New York, and I hope you can stay here also for a long time and help to build up the preaching here in New York, because New York is the gateway to the world. Prabhupada came here to reach out to the world, so you're in the right place. From here, service can be very substantial. Then I want to introduce Jayanta Prabhu. He sits on the chair. Jayanta has a relationship with this movement since a very, very long time, going back to its early days, and has connections with many great Vaishnavas, such as he was a college friend of Harikesh Prabhu, right? So, they both became interested in Krishna consciousness. Satsarup Maharaj appreciates him because, beside the fact that Jayanta is a lawyer who handles immigration for the devotees, not only in New York, but in all of the US. So that's a big service. He does that as a service. But moreover, besides his legal side, he's a poet, right? And yeah, he writes really nice poetry, actually. And Satsarup Maharaj saw that, so now they're good friends. So he's very fortunate to have such friends. That's very wonderful. So I'm very happy to offer him this second initiation today, and later on in private we will get into that part of things. Padma Malini, you are there, yes. Hare Krishna. Padma Malini always smiles, always. I've never seen her that she didn't smile. And she's always enthusiastic, always, to serve. And I always see her doing lots of service, also a devotee of the Radha Govinda temple. So thank you very much, and may you serve Radha Govinda on and on and on and on. That would be wonderful. Thank you so much. Then Amala Purana, Prabhu is here. His good wife, Sandili, due to work responsibilities, couldn't make it today, although she was scheduled, but it didn't work out, so we'll have to make another arrangement. But it's highly... So I'm sort of seeing your wife sitting next to you in my mind, and we'll make an arrangement so that she can also get her initiation today. I thank you both for your service and everything, your personal care for me. His wife is a very good cook. I think. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jaya Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Do we have our 4 Bhagavatam readers? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Please read out loud the Bhagavatam. Not at the top of your lungs, but just like japa. Okay, everyone please sit down. Om Asana Mantrasya Mira Prishti Vishi Chandra Kurumu Devatashno Pavanashana Vinagaha. Om Adhara Shakti Noma Manantai Namo Kurumai Nama. Prithvitara Talaka Devi Tam Vishana Chitta. Tam Shataranamam Nicham Pavicham Chasanam Kuru. That's good. And then please have a kirtan, sing Hare Krishna. You have a microphone? But you want to sing? Yes, Maharaj will sing. Everyone else. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. More Hare Krishna. Keshavaya Namah. Om Narayanaaya Namah. Om Haravaya Namah. Vanyana Vishnu Namah. Madhusudana Shubha Kamadana Krishna. Padmadamaya. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Chandan. Hare Krishna, Om Swastika, Hare Krishna, Swastika Vasudeva Krishna, Swastika Narayana Narayana, Swastika Padmanabha Purushottam, Hare Rama, Swastika Rishikesh, Swastika Vaina, Hare Swasti Swasti Sumam Dalai Krishna Mahanshi Krishna Saktiram Nandana Sarveshwari Swadarata Karotu Sasane Krishna Sarvalokeshwareshwaraha Karshnadaya Sakuranti Sasino Kamaramaha Krishna Mamaya Sarvatra Sasikuya Chasma Tataiva Bhagavata Krishna Loka Vinashanaha Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So this fire pit is the precursor to internet. Actually, that's formed perfectly to make a connection to the planetary systems. And we're making these offerings by the words of Swaha, offering them to Agni, who then offers them to Lord Krishna's lotus feet. So upon Swaha, please take some grains. This is kind of a graceful. These fingers, like a little deer. And you can put them in the fire if you're close. And if not, then place them in the empty bowl that you have there, and we'll offer them at the end. Om Bhuva Swaha Ida Vishnave Ida Namama. Om Bhuva Swaha Ida Achutaya Ida Namama. Om Swaha Idam Narayana Ida Namama. Om Bhuva Swaha Om Anantaya Idam Namama. Please repeat. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Umniditam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Swaha 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 Idam Anantaya Idam Namama. Now there's some dried fruits and grains. You put those in your right hand. Or if you prefer to stand up first and then put them in your hands to get up. And we're going to do the final offering called the Purnahuti. So just take those dried things, and you can come close to the fire. And you can go in. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Mandya Devaya Gobramana Hitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Swaha. Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Janardana Yat Pujitam Mayam Devam Paripudam Tadastu Me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Yeah. Let's see if Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Make a circumambulation. Go. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.